Hello, everybody. Welcome to Topic Talks. This show is exciting because it is our very first in a series of 2-hour shows. That's right, Topic Talks is now 2 hours. That will be until the end of summer, unless you guys really like it. So your feedback is really appreciated and very encouraged. If you like our 2-hour shows better than our hour 2-part shows, let us know. We really want to know if you like it. We got off to a little bit of a late start today. We're trying to adapt to the 2-hour show. And I have Zach on the phone with me. Zach, say hi.
Hi.
Zach is broadcasting and talking to me from an undisclosed location. So,
Not jail.
what?
It's not jail. I'll tell you that.
It is not jail. I will vouch for him on that. So, because we have our first 2-hour show, we do have a lot planned. So, but first I want to say it really matters if you guys tell us. If you guys really do like the 2-hour shows, let us know. Or if you like a 1-hour show in one part, or if you want it, kind of tell us how you want the show to go. This was a deal that I got cut, and I'm like, cool, let's do a 2-hour show series until the end of summer to kind of celebrate summer and give us a little bit more to talk about. So give us feedback on that. We've got a lot of topics today, and our first one is probably one that everybody has talked about and you are tired of hearing about, but because it's such a popular topic, we're going to talk about it again. Prince. Prince has died.
Yeah, that hurt me really bad because he was like one of my music idols. So
he was a genius. Everything that I've been hearing, all the songs that I know of his. Sadly, Prince died at the age of 57. And that happened about a week ago, I think now. It was announced recently that his remains have been cremated, and they did have a private, very intimate service at his house, at his estate, and his publicist said that there is going to be a date released at a later date for a musical celebration. I think this is just a loss to the public, to the music community.
I mean, we had any celebrity deaths and like people dying. I mean, we had Alan Rickman, we had Heath Ledger, Robin Williams, we had who else? David Bowie. That one female wrestler, I can't remember her name at the moment. It's so sad.
It is very sad, and I don't even think we can describe the sorrow that everybody is feeling right now. There is also but there is a little cloud of the cause of death. Nobody knows what the cause of death was. An autopsy was done, and there are toxicology reports, but those won't be really released for at least 4 weeks. Or that's according to a statement that was released by Prince's publicist. It is thought that he had a he was suffering from the flu that turned into walking pneumonia, but they also said that he was dealing with a hip problem and was taking a medication for that, which is Percocet, the painkiller Percocet, which apparently he has had problems with in the past. So, it is still an ongoing investigation. It's kind of sad that such an icon has to, I mean, one, that he passed away, but that, I mean, every celebrity death has to be investigated vigorously. I mean, sometimes it's just, I mean, it sucks that they're dying so young. I mean, Robin Williams I feel like he was still pretty young. I mean, he was getting up there in age, but every time I saw him in any movie or anything, or he seemed like he was in good health. So
Yeah.
obviously Prince was having problems. He did cancel a couple of his shows, I heard, and that caused him to. And then he went back and said, oh, I was just suffering from the flu, I was under the weather, I'm back now, here I am. So, but it really took the public by surprise. Everybody was shocked. I mean, I was in an interview, I was interviewing for a job, and the guy stopped and said, he's like, hold up, he's like, I'm sorry, but my wife just texted me and Prince just died. Or
I
Prince.
learned about it at work, and like this guy asked me to his phone to look it up, and I looked it up, and it just made me sad. Because what made it even more sad is I watched Batman 1989 with Jack Nicholson, where Prince did the soundtrack to it, and that made it more sad for me.
Oh, I love that. I love the Jack Nicholson Joker. Anyway, yeah, he was truly a legend. Every celebrity that I've seen in an interview since this tragedy, they have talked about how there is not a person in the music community, whether it is the country music community or it is the rock or the pop. There have been many artists who have collaborated with Prince and had songs written by Prince for them to perform and stuff like that. And it's we have lost an actual musical genius, and it is very sad. There's
Yeah, definitely.
it's us.
I mean, like Netflix, some other places are doing like little tributes to him. I think Netflix is doing Purple Rain. A couple people are playing Purple Rain, and some other stuff for him. I mean, like he's a big influence.
There was some theaters this past weekend that did a special couple viewings of the movie Purple Rain.
Yeah.
And some fun facts about that movie. It was actually a movie that I was watching an interview, and they're like, they just kind of gave him this movie. He was a nobody at that time. They didn't really know who he is. He had a couple songs, and they gave him a movie, and most of the cast members are his band members. And he's like, that's not something that happens every day. And that movie made like, I think they said like $7 million, $70 million or something like that. So some outrageous number. I'm trying to remember what it is.
Yeah.
Have you seen Purple Rain at all?
Yeah, I saw it.
How was it? Was it good?
I liked it. I really liked it.
You want to tell us a little bit what it's about?
Uh, yeah, I haven't seen it in forever though. I mean, that movie came out in 1984, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I just know that. Hold on. Sorry, my phone's having a little problems. But I just know it's about this musician who rises with a band, starts a revolution, and he like tries to avoid making mistakes through his father, and like he goes through like some club scene. It's a good movie. I haven't seen it in forever though, so that's all.
Well,
but it's one of my favorite songs he's done too.
What, Purple Rain?
Yeah, that and Party Man.
Well, what was your first experience with Prince?
My first experience would have to be when I first saw the 1989 Batman, where he did the soundtrack and I saw the music video for it. And then when my dad showed me the movie Purple Rain, and my dad loved Prince so much, he like basically had every album of his.
What did your dad say when he found out?
He almost cried. Like he almost cried as much as my girlfriend cried when Alan Rickman died.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who have been touched by his just like by his music, and it's actually kind of cool. I think we're gonna play. If I found it right, I think we're gonna play the song that Zach has been referring to.
The Purple Rain?
No, the Joker one, the one on Batman.
Oh, Party Man?
Yeah.
Dude, play Purple Rain. Purple Rain's his best.
We'll play both. We do have 2 hours to kill.
All right.
So, what is this song about? Do you know? Is it just about Batman?
Oh, the Party Man?
Yeah. Yeah.
Party Man? No, it's about basically a new guy who comes around and basically wreaks havoc, but also like is quite charming. Kind of like the Joker.
Where was it at in the movie?
So.
Do you remember?
The museum scene where he starts wrecking all the art at the museum.
Well,
where Jack Nicholson starts painting on all the paintings and starts like painting on the sculptures.
is this it? What?
Hold on. Yeah, that's it.
Here's Prince, everybody. Well, there you go, Zach. Anything else you got to say on this subject?
No.
No?
I mean, I'm gonna miss his music. I'm gonna miss him.
Well, here's another little taste of Prince with Purple Rain. My bad, I found the one without the singing in it. Zach, you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Sorry, I was
And
sitting here and I realized, I'm like, wait a minute, there's no singing in this one. That was my bad,
that's
everybody.
fine. We can always just talk about the next topic and come back to this music later because this music.
Why don't we end the show? We will end the show with Purple Rain by Prince.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. So
that's nice.
Like we've been saying, it's very sad that Prince passed away, and so that we'll give a little tribute at the end in honor and in memory of him. Moving on to our next topic. If Zach's ready. Zach, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. In honor, our next topic is one that has been, it's actually kind of, I find it kind of humorous. I find it humorous because it's about Kelly Ripa and the fact that she found out Michael Strahan was leaving and just threw what I'm going to call a temper tantrum and went on, quote unquote, vacation. She went on vacation and just left, and then she just all of a sudden sends an email to her staff, and the letter or the email that she sent read, "Hi guys, sorry for this late Friday night email. I wanted to thank you all for giving me the time to process this new information. Your kindness, support, and love is overwhelmed me. We are a family, and I look forward to seeing you all on Tuesday morning." And so she's trying to say something without saying it. And I find it kind of funny because, Michael decides he wants to move his career to, well, I don't know if it was his decision or if it was the executives at ABC, but the decision was made that he should move to Good Morning America, which he has been on part-time now for a little while, and I don't know if he wanted to or if they wanted him to go on full-time. So I think it's kind of funny that she threw a fit and went on a vacation, and then all of a sudden pops back up and says, "Hey, you're all my family. Thanks for the support. See you on Tuesday." Have you heard about this at all, Zach?
No, actually, I haven't. I don't really know who Kelly Ripa is.
Kelly Ripa is, she was on the show. Originally, the show was Regis and Kelly, Live with Regis and Kelly. And it's a morning talk show. And then Regis Philbin left, and it left Kelly. Well, she did this whole thing where she tried a whole bunch of different co-hosts, and Michael Strahan, who you may know as a football player, ended up being her new co-host.
I know him. I just know him from Magic Mike as the sexy black guy.
I didn't even know he was in that. I haven't seen it. I have really no desire to see it either.
He was in the second one.
But, no, anyway. So he decided that, I don't know if he decided or if they decided that he would be better on GMA, but he's moving, and now I can understand a little bit of her being mad because it was said that she was kept in the dark about it. Like, the people from GMA knew, like Robin Roberts, and they all knew, but they left Kelly Ripa in the dark, which I think is kind of wrong. If they're thinking about moving Michael Strahan, who is part of her show, the show that they're on it together, I think that should have been a decision or something that was brought to her attention. Like, hey, this is what we're thinking about doing. I mean, even if they said this is what we're doing, there's nothing you can do about it. But at least telling her, not keeping it a secret. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
But she, it also says there's no reports on whether Kelly and Michael's relationship was damaged at all by this event. But I'm kind of curious to see what they're going to say tomorrow. So I'm definitely going to make sure I record that because it's kind of, you have all this, I'm going to call it controversy around, her leaving and him leaving and all this. So I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen tomorrow. It is also said that the executives are a little bit afraid that Kelly is going to go off script. And
yeah,
I think it would be funny. It would be really funny. But they could also do, announce and say, hey, it's still saying that Michael's leaving. So they could say, hey, Michael's leaving. We're going to do like a farewell, thing at this time or from here to here, whatever, make it the best time he ever had on the show or whatever. But it'd be kind of funny if she went off script and I don't know. I feel like she should just because of the executives. It also was said that they don't know. It is unknown what deal the ABC made with Kelly Ripa's. I'm gonna say her people. But I guess there was a deal that was struck, so she may not go off script because of the deal that was made. But I don't know. I kind of consider this throwing a giant temper tantrum. Literally, that's pretty much all it was. She was throwing a giant temper tantrum because her buddy Michael Strahan was leaving. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I agree. Basically, that's what it is. That's funny.
I thought it was a funny little piece that I could add to the show. I'm not trying to be mean, but if you're gonna act childish like that, then people are gonna say something about it. And I'm not trying to offend anybody. I got this all off of websites, and a little bit of some of it's my opinion, but I don't know. I feel like by running away like that, she just kind of threw I call it a temper tantrum because it was childish. And I mean, she might have needed time to process, in her words, process this new information. But you could have said like something like, hey, I need to get away, so live will not be on for, a week or so. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she could have, because the first time I heard about it was she was coming back from her vacation, and this is what happened, and it's like, okay, or just make an announcement that live is, that she's not going to be on. She's going on a vacation and enjoy some family time. She's allowed to do that. She's a celebrity. So I don't know. I feel like the way she went about it was kind of childish, but I like the fact that Michael Strahan is kind of moving. I need to, whether it was his decision or not, I kind of want to applaud him for what he's done. Yeah. There's a little applause. No, but like he wants to move on with his career, and I can understand that. He was a football player for a long time, and then he had to kind of, figure out, okay, what am I gonna do from here? And so I think he was on ESPN for a while, doing like kind of the some of the football like playbacks and announcers and all that. Then he moved on to live, and now he's going on to GMA to do, who knows what. So I think that's kind of cool that he's kind of evolving as a person, and I don't know. Anyway, so that was a little tidbit that I found that I thought was cool. Our next story that I found was one that I really like. Do you want to talk about it, Zach?
Is it the Red Robin server?
It is. It is the Red Robin server.
You can go ahead and tell everyone about that.
Okay. So in Columbus, Ohio, there was an officer named Stephen Smith who had passed away on the job. It was a big thing. The community was very involved in the funeral. It was a huge thing for this community. Well, it was making news. Well, somebody else decided that not necessarily that they wanted to make news, but they wanted to do something, kind of do their part to honor that officer. And the person who did that is a girl named Jessica Dunbar. She is a waitress at a Red Robin in Columbus, Ohio, where it was nine police officers who had just come from the funeral came down, sit down, and she kind of knew that something wasn't right, and so she said, she asked, "Are you guys having a rough days?" And one officer responded, "It's always a rough day when you got to put a brother in the ground." So because of that, she instantly knew where they had come from. They had come from the funeral, and that they were probably pretty close. And that's when she decided to do something. And I think this is really cool. The officers went and got their ate and drank and sat there, and when it was time for their bill to come, you've probably guessed it, it came, but it was paid. Oh, $120 of it. Yes, that's right. The waitress paid their bill. But she didn't stop there. She paid their bill, and before they could even flip it over, they saw a note on the back that said, "I can't imagine the day you've all had, let alone what you're going through every day. I hope your day gets better. So much respect. Hashtag," or no, my bad. There was another part of it that I'm missing. It said something about your lunch is on me, and then the rest, "I can't imagine the day you've all had, let alone what you go through every day. I hope your day gets so much better. So much respect." And then she put hashtag we see you, hashtag police life matter, hashtag RIP Officer Smith. I think that this is...
Did she write down hashtag?
Did she what?
Did she write down hashtag?
Yeah, she wrote down hashtag on all of them.
That's weird.
It's something that somebody does, but I mean, it could be something that could trend. But
True.
I mean, hashtags are in this day are going far beyond just computers. I mean, if you take a look at Jimmy Fallon, they talk in hashtags for one of his skits.
I'm happy that she like helped out with the community and like that she did something for them. Cause random act of kindness, it's really nice that people do this thing.
Well, and that's why, as I've brought up before in the show, my church has these cards that they gave out, and it has our church's name on the back, and it's a card that when you do a random act of kindness, you give this card to the person that you were kind to, and or whoever, or if you pay somebody's bill, you just send that card with the waitress and have them take it and just let it circulate. And it says, you have been, what did I say? You've just been a witness to a random act of kindness. Please return the favor and pass this card along with it. And I think that's a cool idea because there's so many people who come up with so many cool ideas for random acts of kindness that I would never think of. And it's gotten to a point where people go like, "Oh, well, that's a good idea. I might do that." It's kind of the same concept as if a random act of kindness could even be if you're in a grocery line and the person in front of you can't pay their groceries. You say, "Well, ring my stuff up and I'll pay for it," or just hand them your card.
Yeah.
And then I would give the person that card and say, "Here, I wanted to help you out a little bit, make your day. I hope it did. Pass this random act on." And I feel like that this is not only a random act of kindness, but it's something that I feel like the community can stand behind, and it's something that she did it for them, not for herself. She didn't do it say, oh, I'm going to get all this attention. It was one of those things, she was in the moment, and she's like, you know what, I'm going to do this. Another cool part about this story is it was revealed that her father was a retired police officer. And when she told him what she had done, it was the only time she had ever seen him cry. So if that tells you how powerful of an act this was, not just for her, but the fact that, you know, her father can go, you know, look at the daughter that I raised. She's, you know, she can respect people, and she'll do something really nice for people who may need a pick me up.
Yeah.
So I instantly, when I read this story, I instantly said I need to put this in the show. It is one thing that I believe in strongly, is that people should do random acts of kindness. And I'm not saying if you're poor, you should, you know, spend all this money. It doesn't even have to be that. It could be if you're, you know, if you notice your neighbor's lawn is getting long and you guys are really good friends, go over and mow it. Or if you know that there's a little old lady that lives, you know, behind you, mow it for her. You know, just do something random. It doesn't have to cost anything. You know, you don't have to spend any money, and just put in a little bit of work. Or if you notice that there's a house that doesn't look that good, or a house that's not taken care of, and you know it's because they're working the people are working all the time, well, offer to come over and, you know, mow their lawn or help them trim their trees or get something done that they can't. You know, if you have the time, instead of sit around and watch TV all the time, you can spare, you know, an hour or two. Or if you have the money, spare a little bit of money for people who just maybe having a crappy day. Do you know how much that would make somebody's day if you just, you know, like I said, if you've got the money and somebody's in front of you in line, or if somebody's behind you has like 3 things, when you're done, say, I'm paying for her too, or him too, or I've got what they need. I'm a big fan of random acts of kindness. So that's my little rant. I thought this was a really cool story. Zach, and what do you think?
I love it. I love when people do random acts of kindness, because I mean, just it's good for the community, good for the people, good for the soul. It's just nice.
It is nice overall. So I again, I'm gonna use my little applause sound effects, but here's somebody that really deserves an applause. So not only was that an act of kindness towards those officers, but it was something that I feel her community could. It was kind of a good story to help kind of pick up the community too. So with that, we have now another story. This one's a short one, and I'm really excited about it. So Zach, have you ever heard of Saved by the Bell?
Saved by the Bell, the TV show?
The TV show.
Or the expression?
What?
The TV show or the expression?
The TV show.
Yeah, I heard of it.
Have you ever seen it?
Nope.
Okay, well, it was one of my favorite TV shows when I was a kid. And the funny part about it is that it was one of those shows that when I was a little boy, my sister, when she would get up to go to high school, she would wake me up and turn on the TV and let me, because she knew I loved this show. And for those of you that don't know what it is, Saved by the Bell was a show that was played in the, I'd say, 80s, 90s. And it was a show about some high schoolers and kind of their, like, what it was like for them to go through school. And you had a cool kind of bad boy kid named Zach Morris. You had Lisa Turtle, who was rich, popular. And you had a whole cast of just this group. And they changed throughout the years. It was mostly like one stable group, but they had people who'd come in and out. And one cool thing about it is that, or one thing that they did is they had this place called the Max. The Max was a place that they would go to eat, whether it was during lunchtime at school or something like that. They would always hang out there. Well, this what I found out, which I was excited, and if you are a fan of Saved by the Bell yourself, you will get excited for, is the fact that there is a diner opening in Ohio, I think it is, that is going to be called Saved by the Max. It is a diner that is based off the show. It is going to look just like the show, or the diner in the show, The Max. And you will be able to enjoy things like AC sliders, which is for like AC Slater, the jock of the group. You can have a Lisa Turtle milkshake, which she was the kind of the rich one of the group. Or you can listen to the Zack Attack cover band, which was a band that the group came up with. There will be a cover band called the Zack Attack. So this is just something that kind of made me remember my childhood and a show that I really liked. So if you really like Saved by the Bell, this is a place that you should put on your bucket list to visit. If you have not seen Saved by the Bell, I would very much recommend it. It used to be on Netflix. I don't believe it is anymore. But you can buy the series in stores. One of my favorite is one that's around here called FYE. FYE. It's a place that has a whole bunch of movies and stuff. You can find it there. I actually have the entire series of Saved by the Bell. It was, like I said, it was one of my favorites. But if you are buying it, if you end up really liking it, you should hunt down. There are some missing years because it originally started out when they were in middle school. Those years are not included in the series. They just started when it started high school. So that is something that I would recommend if I were you. So, Zach, does that sound like something you might want to do?
Maybe. I mean, I love that store, FYE, and it's too bad that they moved from my area.
Have they?
Yeah, I don't have it near my area anymore.
There is one in the Great Lakes Crossing Mall. So if you're ever in there...
There used to be one in Novi Mall, but now it's no longer there.
Well, if you want to come and visit me, there's one in the mall by me too. So, on to our next topic. We have a topic, and this one is for another one of the kind of like 80s, 90s shows. If any of you guys are a fan of Full House, those of you who have listened to the show before, you might have listened to our show where we talked about Fuller House. Full House, for those of you that don't know, was a show about a family who lived in San Francisco, all in one big house, and it was like the whole family dynamic, and it was a single dad with three girls, and the mother passed away. They never really say how. Well, and the brother of the mother comes and lives there, and their best friend. So there's three guys in the house trying to raise three little girls, and it goes through there. Well, Jodie Sweden is the middle child, or used to play the middle child, Stephanie Tanner. And they have a reboot now on Netflix. It's a Netflix original series. I binge watched the entire first season, and I'm very proud of it. That is called Fuller House. It is the three daughters, well, two of the three daughters, move into the house. One of them is a single parent, and Stephanie Tanner is the aunt that moves in to help the older sister with her kids. Anyway, Jodie Sweden is on Dancing with the Stars. Well, she may not be for much longer. She was hospitalized Thursday with injuries to her ankle and to her nose. She broke her nose, and her and her partner were prepping on Dancing with the Stars. Were prepping for this week's show. When there's a video, when I watched the video, it kind of looked like they were trying to do a lift, and he fell right on her ankle. So it is, if I'm pretty sure the rule is if she can't compete by this week's show, she is out, which is sad. She was the one that I was rooting for. I don't really watch Dancing with the Stars unless there's somebody that I know and that I like. So that's the person that I'm rooting for. So if she was sad. Have you ever watched Dancing with the Stars, Zach?
Yeah, especially my mom. She's a big fan of Dancing with the Stars. But,
did she know about this at all?
Yeah, no, she knew about this. Yeah, she heard about it.
Who's she rooting for on the show?
And I have no idea. She just likes everyone.
It's funny, my grandma always picks a favorite from the beginning, and it's always somebody that I don't know. Although, last season, it was somebody that I did know. It was Bindi Irwin. And for those of you that don't know, Bindi Irwin is the daughter of, I think it was Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter. And she won. I was rooting for Nick Carter because, you know, he's a Backstreet Boy. You can't argue with that. So have you ever watched the show? I know you said your mom has, but do you follow it at all?
Not that much. I'm more of an American Idol person.
Well, then you need to find something new because American Idol just ended. Maybe.
I know.
According to Ryan Seacrest, it might be their last time. Did you hear about that?
Well, no, it is their last. Yeah, no, it is their last thing on American Idol.
Yeah, but did you hear how Ryan Seacrest ended the show?
Oh no, I didn't.
So Ryan Seacrest, to go off script a little bit, Ryan Seacrest ended the show on Dancing with the Stars when he said, he was like, and signing off for American Idol for the last time, maybe, and the show ended. So your American Idol might be back. It probably won't be back on the same network, but it might be back somewhere else. Or that could be a hint that Ryan Seacrest is trying to get it on a different network.
Yeah, it could be. Or they might just reboot the whole thing like later on in years, like maybe in a couple of years.
Yeah. Like I said, well, that was a big debacle, or that was a big thing too, is the last show. They had everybody. They had all the original judges. They had all the new judges. They had all of the past successful stars, like Carrie Underwood was there. Oh crap, what is her name? There was another one that was there who was really big. She was kind of like a 90s person. Come on, Zach, you're supposed to help me out. You're the American Idol guy.
I don't know. I get my celebrities mixed up.
Well, you're a big help, Zach. Anyway, there is a... Anyway, so that's how they ended the show. But I am actually kind of sad. It is not said whether or not she would be making the performance or not. So, and I think it is the one that is going to be on tonight or in a couple nights. But I'm kind of sad. I hope she didn't really injure her ankle that bad, and she can. Or I hope they let her sit this one out. But usually, if you
I hope.
or if they find a way for her to compete, because I really want her to win. I know she was doing really well. Like I said, I don't watch it. I just look and say, "Oh, look, her name's still there. She's still on." And then I might watch a dance or two of hers if I like the song. But another one of the things is I don't vote. I don't like to vote the online voting. You know what I mean? Have you ever voted for American Idol or anything on the phone?
Yes, once, and I lost.
Who was it?
It was during like the whole David Cook and David Archuleta.
Really?
Probably a few years ago, and I voted for David Archuleta, but David Cook won.
Oh. Well,
And I was upset.
I would be upset too. That is something that would make me very upset. That's one of the reasons I don't vote on those things. Is I feel like I'm not gonna win anyway.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit for that one. Our next topic, Zach, do you wanna give a little hint? Tell them about what this one is.
Hold on.
Hold on, everybody. Zach's a little bit slow. He's got to try to figure out where I'm coming from.
Yeah. Is this mom forced to give up 5 gallons of breast milk?
Yep. Do you want to
Ew.
take this story?
I mean, I just got to go into the link.
Okay, well, let me kind of. I read a little bit about it. I don't have too much about it.
You can.
Well, you read on it, and I'll start talking, and you contribute. So what this basically boils down to is there's this mother who has I don't think it's a newborn baby. It's a baby that is still breastfeeding, and she's trying to keep a career and have this child. And so what she does is anytime she can pump, she does. Well, they made her throw out some of her breast milk when she was flying at an airport.
Oh, okay. I got it now.
Okay, you got it? You want to take it from here?
Yeah, so basically, this mom, what's her name? Let's see. Jessica Martinez, who had like, what was it? Like gallons of breast milk. I don't know how many gallons, but for her baby and her son's health, and she went to the airport, and because like the airport's very strict about security ever since 9/11, they won't, because most people, even if you bring a water bottle, they won't allow it. So she had all these gallons of breast milk, and they forced her to throw it away.
That's actually kind of sad because, from what I know, which is very limited when it comes to this topic, but from what I know...
I mean, with the transport does say that they can have at most 3.4 ounces unless the passenger is boarding with a baby, and she didn't have the baby with her.
See, and that's kind of...
Yeah, she had more than 305 ounces of her milk supply.
See, but I don't understand why she, like, if she didn't have the baby, I mean, if you're at home, pump. If you're not, you can pump a little bit, I guess, or put a suitcase, can't you check luggage with liquids in it?
I mean, yeah, but, it's only a certain amount. You can have, at most 3.4. She had 500 ounces.
I thought I thought you could check a bag and it didn't matter, but if you were carrying it on the plane, it mattered.
It's both. If it's in your luggage or if you're just carrying it in the plane.
Huh.
It's both.
Well, I didn't know that.
And it wasn't just liquid. She actually froze it, so that's what made it even more suspicious.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you see bricks of white, you don't even know what they are. That could be anything. I mean,
Yeah.
it was just a weird story that I found, and I'm like, okay, well, airports are gonna.
And
Air.
the quote she said, here's a quote that she actually said. She said, "Beyond literally taking my food from my child's mouth, you humiliated me and made me feel completely defeated as a professional and a mother."
See, I would agree with that statement, though. It's
I mean,
probably
I would be kind of like humiliated if they made me throw all that breast milk in front of people.
right. I mean, they could have, said random security check, ma'am, and took her into a back and said, hey, listen, you can't fly with this. I mean, try to be a little bit considerate with that. I mean, I know that there's rules that they have to follow, and they have to follow these rules, and she couldn't do it, but they could have said, "Oh, look, random security check," and taken her into the back room, where they like probe everybody, and instead of just doing that, just say, "Hey,"
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Just say, "Hey, you can't bring this on the plane. We didn't want to really embarrass you in front of everybody, so we brought you back here."
Yeah, but it's just because they take it so seriously, they just don't care anymore. I don't know. My dad, it's really funny. My dad's very known for getting things in his pockets or in his luggage that are not supposed to be on airplanes.
Oh, I don't
And
fly.
he'll,
I try not to fly because I have so many things on my person that I feel wouldn't be allowed on an airplane. Which I
oh
mean,
no, like my dad, he'll always have like pocket knives. He loves knives. He's a big knife person, and that's
me
why
too.
I get my look.
Like that's something that I almost always have on me, and that's something that like even when I was in school, I'd be like, oh, and I'd like slide it in my pocket, and it was just kind of like,
And
well, you know what? I forgot about it when I get home, or when I get like I'll take it out of my pocket and make sure I remember. Make sure.
and he's known for forgetting them because he always saves them. He's within the past 2 to 3 years, he's lost 6 knives uh, to the airport. And what sucks about it is they don't give it back either. If you fly back, they don't give it back. You have to buy another one.
See, if I were your dad, I'd just go to Walmart and buy the dollar ones. Start carrying those
Yeah, no,
around.
like that's what he did too. He bought one that was like $5. What was it? Credit card multi tool, where it's like 30 tools in one. That was like $1, and then like
Well, they actually have dollar actual foldable pocket knives that you can just, that way if sir, you can't bring this on the plane. Okay, well, there's $1. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah, I feel like airport security has gotten really. I'm trying to think of a good word for it. I don't want to say uptight because they're trying to do a job, but I feel like they're careless now. You know, I mean I know that there's a lot of rules they have to follow, but you could be a little bit considerate. Rules
yeah,
don't mean that you have to be, mean or inconsiderate about everything you do. Rules mean that there's things that you have to enforce. But, making somebody feel embarrassed like that, I mean, that's a big deal. They could have said, oh, ma'am, like I said, a couple times. They could just have brought her into the back and said, oh, ma'am, you're not supposed to have this, you're not supposed to have this. We're going to have to throw it away. Didn't want to do this in front of everybody else. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. You know what I mean?
yeah, definitely.
And I mean, I can kind of understand the whole pocket knife thing. I mean, it's not that they don't care, but it's like, think about how many people have flown since your dad left. I mean, if he goes on a week trip, how many people go through that airport in a week? They're not going to keep like a drawer full of pocket knives or things that people have, like they keep them, but they're not going to give them back because it just, they're going to get rid of them. But they're not going to just,
Yeah,
they're not going to keep a drawer full of pocket knives and then, when you come back say, "Oh, that one's mine." Well, how do they know it was yours? They're not. It's kind of, your dad's fault for getting pocket knives in his pockets, and they already have enough to deal with. But this breast milk situation, I feel like they could have handled a little bit better.
yeah. So it's been an hour now for our topic talk. Did you want to start Movie Madness Monday?
Okay, everybody. Zach is really eager. Why don't we get started with our second half and do our Movie Madness Monday? Starting off our Movie Madness Monday, Zach has got a couple topics that he wants to talk about, but the first one I'm gonna claim because I found it and I'm psyched about it. So has everybody? You all know about the Disney Channel, whether you had it as a kid or your friend has it, has it or had it, or you have it now. You all know about the Disney Channel original movies, whether it's Halloween Town series or any of the just High School Musical, any of the Disney Channel original movies that you can think of. Well,
it's basically child. That's what it is.
What?
Basically any child's movie.
Not just that. I mean, we're not talking about Disney movies. We're talking about Disney Channel original movies. There's a big difference. Disney Channel original movies almost never hit theaters. Disney movies hit theaters and are a completely, I feel like, separate entity in themselves.
My favorite Disney Channel movie would have to be Max Keeble's Big Move.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Yeah,
This will be the first time I say this out loud, but my favorite was Cadet Kelly. But that is because I have a huge crush on Hilary Duff. So, with that out of the way.
Isn't that
what?
Lizzie McGuire?
Lizzie
Not
McGuire.
The one with Lizzie McGuire.
It is.
Yeah.
She was the one that played Lizzie McGuire. But I mean, I like the story, though. It was about this girl who was kind of, she was, her mother and her mother had like this friend relationship. Her parents were kind of mutually divorced, but they still liked each other and talked to each other. And her dad was a photographer, always going here and there. And her life gets turned upside down when her mom marries the colonel. I think he was a colonel. Her colonel boyfriend. And actually, I'm going to take a little break because we have a special guest joining our show. Everybody. Here is Matthew. Matthew, can you hear me? I got it. That one?
Yep.
I gotcha. Okay, Matthew. If you can hear everything on the show, we have Zach on the show today.
Hello.
Can you hear everything, Matthew?
No, I don't hear Zach.
Well, you should...
I can't hear.
Open up your laptop, and then you can hear Matthew. And you can hear Zach.
Okay.
Zach, can you hear Matthew?
I cannot hear Matthew.
Really? Seriously? I have this all... Do you have your computer open?
I do, yeah.
Okay, now I can hear him.
Okay, now everybody is on the same page. Okay, sorry for that technical delay, everybody.
I have a 30-second delay.
It's a 30-second delay now?
Yeah.
Okay, this will be an interesting show, everybody. So, how are you, Matthew?
I'm doing alright. You?
I'm doing pretty good. We just got into our Movie Madness Monday, and the first topic that we have, I was talking about the Disney Channel original movies that Disney Channel, in honor of their 100th Disney Channel movie, they are going to play all of their Disney Channel movies. They're going to have a 4-day marathon of movies of like the top most popular ones. And then after that, at random times until all the way, I think, like June, I want to say it was like June. They're going to be playing the rest of the Disney Channel movies. So at some point, if you have a favorite Disney Channel movie, you will be able to see it on the Disney Channel very soon. What do you think about that, Matthew?
I think this is... I think it's really cool, I think the original movies have kind of been, some people really like them, some people don't. There's sometimes, I guess, quality is a little questionable, but there's still merits to them. But at the same time, I'm looking at this myself. I have not seen the majority of these. And part of me wants to attempt a 4-day marathon, but that sounds almost impossible, so
hey,
we'll see.
If you're back in town by then, I am recording all of them, and I'm going to watch all of them, because I love the Disney Channel movies. One thing that's funny about them...
They're like my childhood sweethearts. I love the Disney Channel movies. They're just amazing.
Yeah, the Disney Channel movies are pretty sweet. And I was actually, Matthew, I was just telling them about my favorite Disney Channel movie, and you're going to laugh at me. My favorite Disney Channel movie was Cadet Kelly, starring Hilary Duff.
Alright, what's that one about? I've never seen a lot of these, so I really don't know.
Cadet Kelly is about a girl, as I said before, who... her mom and her dad are divorced, but they're, it was a mutual divorce. They're kind of good friends. And they're raising her. Well, her mom is dating this colonel, this army colonel or, whatever. And he gets a job as a commandant of a military school. And so her life is turned upside down when she moves and has to attend this military school, which her free-spirited and kind of open personality is then put into a uniform and forced to do things she didn't want to do. And I think it's kind of a cool movie because it kind of shows how she adapts and how she makes friends, and that she also, she's adapting to this new life where she'd lived in New York all of her life. She didn't take out, and you can see her mom adjust to actually cooking food instead of just calling and ordering it. And the relationship between her stepdad and her actual dad, I think it's all kind of cool. It was a movie I saw when I was a little boy. I've always liked it, and like I said, I have a crush on Hilary Duff. So, but I feel like Disney Channel things or their movies are one of those things that, yes, people criticize a lot of the more popular ones, but I feel like everybody has some form of one favorite Disney Channel movie. They've seen one that they like, and they may or may not admit it. But I feel like everybody has at least one. There's 100 different ones, and they span a quite a period of time. Their most recent one is The Adventures in Babysitting, is their 100th Disney Channel original movie. Matthew, have you seen? Do you have a favorite?
That one's so old. That was so old.
Again, I have not seen most of these. I mean, I don't think you understand how bad it is. I only saw High School Musical.
Okay, that's pretty bad.
3 months ago. So, for its 10th anniversary. So, yeah, it's been I haven't seen as many of these, but the one I'd probably say I remember out of all of them, and that I probably would still like to this day, Halloween Town.
Halloween Town is a good one. That is my girlfriend's favorite series, and it was funny because where she grew up, she did not have the option to get that channel. So her grandpa would record Halloween Town and send it to her, so she had it and she could watch it. And yes, I said record, and yes, I'm talking about VHS tapes. For the younger generation that is listening, VHS tapes are it's literally like a giant square with actual what looks like tape, and you put it in this big obnoxious player and it plays it. It's old-fashioned.
And I miss my VHS.
And obnoxious
that used to be my,
stick
thing
with
back
Blu-rays because they're so much easier.
Middle school and elementary school. I would always have my dad play movies for me on those things, and we watched the original Star Wars or something.
Hey, I love my VHS tapes. I am replacing them with DVDs, but I do miss the whole, when you fast forward, you can see everybody moving really quickly if you did it right.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't stop and then fast forward, if you just fast forward, everybody moved really fast.
Yeah.
And then if you got it just right, you could hear the blah blah blah.
No, true.
But then whenever you pause the movie and restart and hit play again, you always had to rewind just a little bit because you knew that it wasn't going to start up with the volume right away. So,
well, but then
good times.
It threw me off after I moved to DVDs because cassettes, when you stop playing them somewhere, that's where they stopped playing at.
Yep.
You had to put them in this thing called a rewinder, and it literally just rewound the tape from the end to the beginning. Most of the ones in my family kind of looked like little cars, and it like would pop up, and you'd put the tape in it, and you push it down, and it'd make a noise of the little motor spinning the back of it.
Oh, it was the most annoying thing ever. I hated those.
It was so annoying because you always had to do it.
Yep.
And then the thing that really bugged me, and I'm going old school here, Blockbuster or Family Video, when they had VHSs and you'd rent one and it wouldn't be rewound. You'd put it in and you'd be like, yes, and it would be like, no, and it would just eject it back out, and you would be like, seriously.
Those people were the worst. Honestly, like, that's just cruel that people could do that.
I feel like DVDs were something that they were a genius idea because then nobody had to rewind everything, but it made our society so much more lazy. Because you put it in and you could start it from anywhere.
Yeah, I mean,
miss
that's
the old
true.
VHS days. I mean, the old movies, you know, because you would like
but
sit down,
time,
watch it all as a
you know,
family. And
we
then,
save room and...
Hold up. I got two people talking at the same time. Zach, go.
I don't know when he's talking. I got that delay.
I got it. I'll regulate this. Zach, talk first. Matthew, I'll tell you in a second. Go.
I just miss the old VHS days because you know that was just my childhood back then.
It was. I actually I had a friend whose mom would throw out the DVD or the VHS tapes that didn't have the cases on them because those paper cases would get all like worn out and ripped. Okay.
Oh, that's so true.
Zach, you're done. Matthew, go.
Yeah, no, the nice part about the DVDs, I mean, you're saving space now and resources, doesn't take up as much. And then the other thing we tend to forget sometimes, we now have special features.
We do. The most special features you had on a VHS tape, and I remember this specific example, is at the end of a movie. So like this specific example is at the end of Toy Story. One of the songs that they had like the music video for one of the songs if you waited long enough after the credits. And they like played this little like music video, and I'm like, woo! That was like one of the most exciting things for me, and then the internet came out and everything went away.
Yep.
They're like, boom, bonus features. Boom, games on DVDs. I'm like, what? Like, no, you could play a Finding Nemo game on a Finding Nemo DVD, and if you got a VHS of something, well, you just had the movie.
Yep. The one I remember when I was little was Star Wars. In the tapes that I had, they had this interview with George Lucas, and I can't remember the interviewer. He's a pretty big movie critic, though. And I hated it when I was a little kid because I just didn't care about them. It's like I wanted to watch Star Wars. I didn't care about the interviews, so I always had to fast forward them. And they have I think, beginning and at the end of the movie. I still remember that, though, even to this day. So.
Okay. Matthew, hold up for a second. Zach, go.
Okay.
Go about what?
I don't know. I didn't know if you had any more to contribute to the conversation. And with the delay being so weird, I'm just trying to give everybody a chance to talk.
No, I mean, going for VHS, I mean, nothing more Tuesday.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool that we got, like, better technology about DVDs and whatnot, Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix is a big revolution. I love my Netflix.
Speaking of Netflix, do you want me to go on the new topic? I mean, I got it all up now.
Why don't you go on to the new topic? Matthew, you can hear him all right?
I got the delay, but yeah.
Okay,
as long as you can hear him. Okay, Zach, take it away.
All right, so for our topic for one of our Movie Monday Madness is Netflix coming up in actually May. I don't think they have a real day yet for May. I believe it's May 24th or 27th. But they are upcharging their prices now to around $13 per month, which is pretty pricey if you think about it.
Yeah, I got hit with my girlfriend's like, "Did you know your Netflix went up?" And I said, "It did because I have it on
Yeah,
the
it went up
automatic
like
pay."
it went up like a couple dollars now, but it's going up like to like $13. And I'm like, with all that subscribers to Netflix, you got to think like they're making billions over there.
Yeah, and originally when I started paying for Netflix, it was $8. It was like $8 for
Same here.
Netflix, and I'm like, "Sweet, let's buy it." Because I just got a real job with, well, I wouldn't consider it a real job. It was a part-time job. It's actually where I met Matthew. It was working in a restaurant. And I'm like, I've got money. Let's pay for Netflix. So Matthew, when did you get into Netflix?
For Netflix, for me, I'm trying to think now. I mean, I remember my dad had it way back when, before streaming, when it was just the DVDs that they did.
I remember that. That was, yeah.
So, but yeah, then they moved over to streaming, and you're right. I mean, it's just changing everything because of that. Now, as far as the price increase, like, yeah, it kind of sucks, but at the same time, I don't think you can really beat it. I mean, they offer so much, and even though it is a little more expensive, I mean, they are probably the best streaming service out there. I mean, I know Hulu has some content, but a lot of it's like, either network or cable television. So you do have that, and then you also have Amazon Prime's probably the next contender. But the only thing I think Amazon has on Netflix is Amazon has some pretty good content from what I've been told. But the other thing is you're doing Amazon Prime, so you're getting, the benefit of like the free 2-day shipping and the streaming music. So it's kind of bundled together there. Whereas Netflix, it's just the movies, but they have such a huge selection of them. So, and they keep rotating them in and out.
Let me tell you what, the Amazon Prime. Oh, woo! I love that. It is like my new addiction because I'm getting new stuff all the time. And I mean, I'm not buying stuff that I can't afford. I do spend a little bit. I pay bills and all that, but I'll splurge a little bit and buy something. But that free 2-day shipping makes it nice. I'll be like, when I order off any other website, I'm like, this is taking so long to get here because I use Amazon so much. The free 2-day shipping, it's like, whoo, it's here. Like I order it and it's almost like instantly here. But I did go through their movie selection, and they do have a cool movie selection. They have a lot of newer stuff that Netflix doesn't even have yet. But my problem with it is like the way they have it set up. So like how Netflix, you click on a series and it pops up and it's got all the seasons. Mm-hmm. Amazon is set up to where it has all the individual seasons. So you have to go in and find, oh look, season 1 and play it, and then you got to go find season 2 and play it. Where like I feel like they need to organize it a little bit better.
Yeah.
Zach, do you have Amazon Prime or?
I don't use Amazon. I'm more of a Hulu guy.
How's
certain shows?
How is Hulu? I've never used Hulu.
Hulu's kind of like the same thing as Netflix, and I think it's kind of like the same thing as Amazon. I'm not sure.
Are you asking me?
It's kind of like Netflix, but it has more shows than movies. A lot more shows, and plus it's more recent stuff too. Like The Flash. I can watch the episode of Flash when it first comes on TV on Hulu.
Right. There's pros and cons with all these different things. You've got Netflix. They've got a huge selection, but they get it after everybody else does. To where you've got Hulu, who seems to get it a little bit sooner, but it has a lot of ads, is what I've heard. And then you've got Amazon Prime, who isn't really they're not set up that well, but they get them they get the new releases really soon. So, but also with Prime, you're paying for more than just a movie service.
Yeah, going back to Netflix, Actually, one of the reasons why it's like really pricey is if you do like a premium thing, it makes like all the movies that you watch like HD quality, even some of the old ones, which is pretty cool actually, because of like technology this day, making old movies pretty like HD quality. That's really cool.
Yeah. Just a minute, Zach. Matthew, is there anything else you want to say on the whole topic?
No, not really. So I think we covered it pretty well.
Okay, Zach, what's our next one?
The next topic?
Yeah.
All right, next topic. Actually, the next two topics are about movies that have came on and movies that are coming up. Movie that has been on this week, I think last week started, Jungle Book, which was a really good movie. Got a lot of praise for it. It's around like, I think it has like an 8.5, maybe a 9 out of 10 on the Rotten Tomatoes. It's like 4 out of 5 in certain movies. It was really good. Have you guys seen it yet?
I haven't seen it. You said it's on. Are you talking about the trailer?
No, I'm talking about the actual movie that came out, the Jungle Book.
Oh, it already came out?
Yeah, it's been out for like a week.
Oh, I didn't know that. I haven't seen it. I'm gonna hold off for a second. I'm gonna fix this delay issue because it's really bugging me. So Zach, hold on for a second. I'm gonna add Matthew to the call and see if that will fix our problem. So if you want to talk for a couple minutes, I'm gonna kind of add his call in.
All right, sure. Yeah, with Jungle Book. Hold on, let me get this all set up real quick. And with Jungle Book, yeah, it's like IMDb is giving it.
Okay, here we go. We're calling Matthew now.
Hello.
Hello?
I hear you.
Okay, you hear me. So let's merge the call. So now I should have Zach and Matthew on the same line. Can everybody hear everybody? Matthew?
All right, I hear you.
Matthew?
All right, I hear you. Yeah.
Zach? We're all here, right?
Yeah, I can.
Everybody
yeah,
can hear everybody.
Yep.
Look at me, I'm a problem solver. That's an innovative thought. Okay, so back to the topic at hand. You were talking about the new Jungle Book that just came out that I was really psyched to see.
Yes, where it's based off the old Disney movie, kids movie. I just love the fact that it's for kids and for adults too, because it has like that type of scary factor to it.
Have you had a chance to see it at all?
Yeah, I got to see it before it came out because my employee screening.
So, thumbs up, thumbs down. How'd you like it?
I'm gonna give it a thumbs up because it stayed true to the old Disney movie, and but also kind of made it like a little bit different.
Matthew, what do you think? Have you seen or heard about it, or do you want to see it?
I have not seen it yet. I've been dying to see it though for a long time, pretty much since it was announced. So.
Well, how about you? When you're coming back into town soon, aren't you?
Yes. So.
Then how about you and I will go and see it together? Because I've been dying to see it. I got really excited when I heard it was coming, and I mean I'm kind of worried because there's some live action. Like I'm excited, but I'm worried that they screwed it up.
No, they didn't screw it up at all. It didn't.
Do you have any fears, Matthew?
I'm always nervous when you have talking animals, but at the same time, I think they've worked in the past. Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, that was also Disney produced.
Was it?
I thought they looked fantastic in that. Yep. but I don't know. I think I kept hearing, a lot about it. Like Jon Favreau, he was the director. He directed the first 2 Iron Man movies. He said that was the part he was worried about the most. He's like, that was going to make or break this movie, and fortunately, it seemed like they got it to work. So, and all of the cast members you have there, they're really good at voice acting. So,
Bill Murray, Idris Elba, Ben Kingsley, Scarlett Johansson, a bunch of amazing stars.
Yep.
Okay, so my question is, who played the Bear Blue?
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray. Okay.
Ghostbusters.
I feel like that would be a good choice. Matthew, your comment on the?
Oh yeah, I think he's perfect for it. So. Have you seen any of the trailers though?
I have seen a lot of the trailers. That's one of the reasons that I got so excited. One thing that I'm kind of hesitant about is the bear that they have for this movie is a brown bear, not like, because I've heard that the bear that Blue was is actually a real type of bear.
Yeah, it's a grizzly bear.
And they didn't have a grizzly bear in the movie, is what I heard. So.
Well, yeah, but they had to change it up a little bit.
They did have to change it up a little bit, but I don't know. I'm just kind of worried about how the different characters are portrayed and how much they change it. It's when they get into changing a movie is when I get worried.
Pretty true. Yeah.
Because I mean, you look at all the other movies that they've redone and changed, and some of them were, utter crap, but other of them were, others were awesome. There have been, I feel like there have been a couple movies out there somewhere where nobody really liked the original movie, but the sequel was better than the original, and it was because of the changes that everybody thought should be made. And then when they were finally made, everybody was happy.
Yeah.
So what's some other movies that are coming out or that have come out?
Another movie that is pretty popular, but it's more popular for, I don't want to be stereotypical, but it's more popular for black people, is Barbershop.
Isn't that Barbershop 3? There's already 2 of those.
Yeah. Yeah, there's Barbershop 3.
That was a movie series that I could never get into. What about you, Matthew? Have you heard of the Barbershop series?
I've heard of them, but I've never actually seen any. So
I was a big fan of the original back. Like I love the originals because my dad would always have me watch them.
Yeah, I saw the original and I'm like, this is just not my kind of movie. It's not the fact that it's that it is more based towards the African American population, but it's just the fact that like it's the kind of comedy that I'm kind of like, you know what, I really don't wanna. That's not my kind of movie. I don't like that kind of. I don't know. Just the story behind it I didn't like. So.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Have you guys heard about, and we've talked about this before, the movie that is coming out, My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2?
It already came out.
Did it?
It's about to leave theaters soon.
Damn it. Why do I miss everything? Matthew, have you heard about it?
I heard about it, but I don't know much about it because I've never seen the original. So
I've seen it, I think, like 3 times already, and I love it. It's like even better than the first one.
By the trailer, it sounds really funny. And I mean,
watch the first one.
That's what I've got to do. I've got to go watch the first one because the fact is that I haven't seen the original movie, and I did watch a lot of Disney Channel film, or not Disney, but ABC Family films, and that was one of them. And I'm like, this doesn't look that good, but I feel like the trailer for that one didn't do it as justice as it sounds. but
Yeah.
because this new one looks hilarious, so now I'm gonna have to go back and watch the old one.
Yeah. And let's see what other. But yeah, the barbershop. Going back to the barbershop movie, I'm gonna have to give that like a good, like 7. I mean, it wasn't as good as the original ones, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah, like I said, that was not one that I could ever get into, but I mean,
Now,
the other ones I will be more than happy to go and see. What are some other movies that are coming out?
you guys ready for the big movie that's coming out next week?
What's the big movie?
Civil War, Captain America: Civil War.
I'm excited. I'm not gonna lie. Matthew, are you excited?
Yes.
That's
That
Matthew
did
speak.
not sound like a yes. Why a bad yes?
I don't know. I think some of it is because I'm trying to remember now. Ant-Man, wasn't that the last Marvel one?
Last one. I think it was Avengers 2. After that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think Marvel's starting to show their Achilles heel there. It's like they're starting to be a little formulaic. I think this one has the potential to mix things up. There are definitely things I'm excited about. Like, I want to see. Oh my God, I am so excited to see Black Panther. I don't know if any of you read comics, but the new line that just came out of Black Panther, I picked up issue 1, came out this month. It was incredible. So, and Spider-Man I'm also excited for. But I guess my thing is I'm a little nervous because the original comic, from my understanding, was, essentially all this destruction is going on with these superheroes, and the government says, "Hey, who's going to own up to all this?" So they want the superheroes to reveal or go public with their identities. And they said that essentially it's because all this damage is happening. It's like, yeah, you're trying to save lives, but you're ultimately acting above the law. And the government wanted to keep them from doing that. And then that split the Avengers apart into 2 different teams. So there's some really heavy themes going on there, and I just don't know if Marvel's going to hit any of them. I think it could still be a fun movie. It could still be kind of interesting, but, as much as I didn't like Batman v Superman, as much as I had problems with it, it's going in a totally different direction than Marvel. And I think if we give Warner Bros. And DC some time, they're going to prove to themselves that you can have a different mood to these movies. You can hit heavy themes. These guys can be taken seriously. And maybe if that happens, Marvel will fall out of favor. So I don't know. I'm just really not sure. And then some it's also a little bit of fatigue right now. It's like we are getting a lot of superhero movies, and part of me wants something, a little more original right now. So I still like them, but they are getting a little formulaic.
I mean, I get you. I understand what you mean, but I mean, they do switch it up from the comics. I like what DC's going with a darker route.
Mhm.
But Marvel's trying to go that route, but they also, because they're owned by Disney, they're trying to go more kid friendly, and that's what I think is just bringing it down.
Yeah,
See, I can.
All the superhero movies are they are trying to gear more kid friendly, and from my understanding of the comics is that not all of them were really that I'm going to use the word clean, but they're trying to make these movies more kid friendly, but I don't know if that's always such a good thing, because you do have these cartoons that are kid friendly of all these superheroes. If it's going to weigh the movie down, why make them as kid friendly? I guess is my question.
Yeah. And with the Civil War movie, it's quite different from the comic because it pertains more about Captain America than the whole Avengers thing. And they're changing things up about it. Instead of like a bus full of children and thousands of people getting blown up, it's like I think the UN gets blown up, and then Captain America is trying to save Winter Soldier and the thing, and it's way different than the comic.
See, and I feel like it's when they deviate from the origins of the comic is when the movies kind of lose a little something.
Yeah. But here's the thing about the movie. This movie has almost as higher ratings. I wouldn't say bigger than, but almost higher ratings than Deadpool right now. Which is funny because Kevin Smith gave a review saying it's one of the worst Marvel movies yet. And then everyone else, like IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, Metric, critic people, are saying that this is one of the best Marvel movies yet. So I don't know what to think about it.
Well, it's funny because we have a critic person on the other line. Matthew, what is your analysis of the movie that is going to be coming out?
I got a few things, I guess, to say. Like, for me, I don't have as much an issue that Marvel goes, the more kid-friendly route, because DC is going the other way. It's like, I don't want them both going serious. I don't want them both going fun. And the other thing is, you have to realize, like, for example, they have Spider-Man in there. And one of the things I am excited about, though we are getting Peter Parker again, you cast a really young Peter Parker. And from the looks of it, even from the logo, Spider-Man Homecoming, it looks like a way more kid-friendly version of it. And I'm like, I think that's really cool that they're headed more in that direction, more towards, what he used to be known as was, the teen superhero, versus like, the mid-20s superhero. So I think that's in Marvel's favor. It's just that they're a little too afraid to think outside the box sometimes. They're a little too controlling with, their directors and everything, where they don't give them that creative freedom. That's why so many people have left projects or refuse to take up projects, because it needs to fit the Marvel vision and everything, which does give the universe more cohesiveness. But at the same time, again, it's making every movie seem the same. The other thing I'd say is, to anyone listening out there, I would still say go see the movie yourself. Don't listen to what any of the critics have to say, because right now when it comes to comics, clearly no one can agree on anything. I personally thought Batman v Superman was garbage, but I thought there were amazing elements in it. Some of the best things I've ever seen out of a comic book movie.
And I thought it was amazing.
Yeah, and then at the same time, Marvel, I still think they come up with I love Winter Soldier, I love Iron Man, I love Guardians of the Galaxy. It's just some of the others I don't think are good. And even the things I like in them, I like them for different reasons than what I like the DC movies for. And right now you're seeing, even amongst YouTube people, there's this huge thing where they're accusing each other of, like, essentially buying, critics off, saying that people who love Marvel just hate on DC all the time, and people who like DC just hate on. It's like, it's not about that. And I think some of it's also interesting because you're right. Most of these critics hated Batman v Superman, loved, Marvel movies, but some of their criticisms for Batman v Superman was it's not like a Marvel movie. It doesn't have the quote-unquote superhero elements, like the quips and the bright colors and the action and everything. And in that respect, I guess my question is, when it comes to these critics, have you let Marvel define the genre? I still don't think there's anything wrong with not liking Batman v Superman, but by comparing it instantly to Marvel, you're saying that Marvel has created the definitive movie, and at the same time you're saying you were tired of it because everyone was like, Ant-Man was just okay. It's kind of mess. So it's like you can't win with them. So go see the movie yourself and make up your own mind. So choose what you like.
I thank you for that, Matthew. That's actually a point that I really agree on, and I think Zach might as well. Is you cannot take the opinion of, as awesome as we are, you cannot take just the opinion of us. You need to, if you want to go and see this movie, or you want to go see Batman v Superman, go see him. Form your own opinion, and when you do, let us know. And we love to hear your guys' opinions, but that hearing your opinion on the show may spark somebody else to want to go and see it, because they may go, well, the guys on the show don't like it, but you like it, so that might they just might be stuck up and snobby, you know what I mean? So that's actually one piece of advice that I mean, I agree with a lot of what Matthew said. He's a really good friend of mine, and I respect his opinion, but I also try not to take sides on the Marvel versus DC, because as I have figured out, that is a very rough battle that nobody really wants to get in the middle of. Right, Zach?
Yeah, I'm just excited to get to see it Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Like I said, I still haven't seen Batman v Superman, and apparently I need to go to the movies. But with my busy schedule,
need to go to the movies. Have a whole day free and watch all the movies before they leave. I mean, Deadpool already left the theaters.
Yeah. Well, I didn't get to see Star Wars before it left the theater. I had to watch it at home, which, by the way, was fantastic.
Oh my God, are you serious?
I'm broke over here. I'm broke and I'm busy. I'm in the process of switching jobs.
I get movie passes.
Yeah, for a movie theater that was how far away from my house?
I don't know. Well, like an hour.
Yeah, I appreciate the free movie passes. I do, and one day I will come and see you at your movie theater and watch a movie. But right now, that is not in the cards, because I, however, am going to college and I am broke. So, but I do have some exciting news. I am trying to switch jobs right now, and I might be working at the Bass Pro Shops. So that's it. Some exciting news for me. Anyway, back to our Movie Madness Monday. Like I said, you guys form your own opinions, share them with us. I know Matthew. For those of you that don't know, Matthew had a show for a very little while called The Only Opinion That Matters, and one of and that concept that it wasn't his opinion, it was your opinion is the only one that matters. And I really respect that. There's a lot of these movie critics that are like, I've heard some that say, don't go and see this, it is a horrible movie. Or they'll be like, go and see this, it was a phenomenal movie. And I'm like, I'm going to go and see it and get my own opinion. And I liked how he incorporated that into his show. Not to really advertise. But are you planning on doing another show, Matthew?
A new channel, new name, new everything, maybe. We'll see.
Maybe. Well, maybe you might start out with a podcast like this. It's a little bit cheaper to get into and doesn't require as much time to do.
That's true. Editing and camera work, that's a lot of time. But we'll see. I'm thinking about it. But it'll be talking about different things. I won't be, maybe I won't be reviewing Captain America Civil War. I may be reviewing some really off-the-wall stuff you may not have heard of. So.
Well, I look forward to it, and if I will keep everybody else updated, if Matthew doesn't on our show, of if you guys are interested in hearing more of Matthew, and I'll relay the information on if he does start a new show up and what the new name of it might be. But any final thoughts on this topic, guys?
I'm just excited for the movie. I mean, like, I hope it's good.
Yeah, I'm
kind of on the same boat. Sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. I think that's something that we all kind of agree on, is that, we're all excited for the movie. And I think we all get to this point where we're all excited for the movie, and then when we watch the movie is when everything goes to hell, because there's things about it that Matthew likes that Zach may not, or Zach may be biased because he's likes the comics, or I may not have any idea about the comics, but I love the movie, or they may make a movie of my favorite superhero and everybody calls it trash, and I completely disagree because I'm biased.
All I can say is I'm very excited for Black Panther, if nothing else. And I reiterate what I said earlier. Go pick up the new issue of Black Panther. It's incredible, I think. So
yeah, I'm a big Black Panther fan as well. So.
Well, guys, Zach, do you have any more topics for our Movie Madness Monday?
No, but I'm gonna look up something for my little corner soon.
Okay, well, Zach is figuring out something for his little corner. We are at the 1 hour and 41 minute mark. I'd like to reiterate again that this is something that I'm starting to do. I'm going to do it for the summer. I thought it would be a cool idea. If you guys like our 2-hour shows, that's awesome. Please let us know. If you think that us talking for 2 hours is way too much of our voices for you and you think we need to shut up, tell us that also. I mean, if you're not listening because we do a 2-hour show, or if you like it because you want to listen live but you can't listen live during the first half, well, then tell us that too. I mean, but it is downloadable. You can listen to it after we are done live, and you can always contact me or Zach, and Matthew will probably not care if you contact him. He'll probably tell you, well, I may not be on the show this week, but I will let Aaron know, or something like that. But let us know what you like. I want to thank Matthew for coming on the show. It's always a pleasure to have you on. Well, Zach's figuring out something. So are you looking at actually coming in studio while you're home, or are you just gonna keep calling in?
I'll probably come in studio at least a few times. Yeah.
Okay. I'm excited. I have some brand new additions to my studio, and I'm excited to use them. So that's Zach. How you coming on your corner? Did you find something yet?
I don't know. What should I do? Give me an idea. Give me an idea, Aaron. Give me an idea.
Okay, Matthew. Pick a character that you like.
Pick a character that I like?
A character you like.
Wonder Woman.
All right, take a male character.
Come on, Zach. I want to hear you do a Wonder Woman.
I can't do a Wonder Woman. I can only do like 3 women's voices. That's they love Miss Piggy and Marge Simpson.
Well, and Laura.
Actually,
you forgot about Laura.
The Muppets. I just watched the Muppets. I would love to hear Miss Piggy.
Want to hear Miss Piggy? All right, how about I'll do most of the Muppets that I can think of.
There you go.
All right.
Go for that.
I gotta get all ready. Hold on. Let me get some water. All right. Hey guys, it's me, Kermit the Frog here, ready to do my Muppet Show. Oh, Kermit, you always know what to say. It's more, Miss Piggy. Now back off, Denise. It's my frog, bitch. Let's see. Who else can I do? Kermit. Funny new jokes on this new season of Muppets, huh? Waka waka. And the Love Show. And love drums. It's me, Gonzo. Let's see. That's all I can think about right now. Just those characters.
I don't know about Matthew, but I'm still pretty blown away, and I know you could do all those.
Matthew,
yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah?
Yep.
Now,
really cool.
Well, and Matthew, you should listen to last week's show because he did all of his Joker impressions. He can do like Jack Nicholson and all the different Jokers, and he can do them really well too.
Oh damn!
So
were you able to do Jared Leto? There's not a whole lot of content out there, I guess, with his voice. I was just wondering.
I mean, Jared Leto even stated out saying that he sounds like Heath Ledger.
Okay.
So basically, it's like saying like Oh, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna hurt you really, really bad. Are you sweet talking me? All that chit chat's gonna get you hurt. Like that.
Mhm. Ooh, I'm so excited for him as Joker. Oh, I get chills.
I'm excited. Who's your favorite Joker?
I'd have to go Mark Hamill. So
that's my favorite too.
Yeah, but specifically, I'd have to say from the Batman Arkham video games because they just let him go all out with those.
Oh yeah,
but
definitely.
We'll have to wait and see because Batman Killing Joke is finally getting a video adaptation, and Mark Hamill will be voicing Joker in that. It's the first rated R DC animated movie. So
we actually talked about that last week. That was one of our topics last week, as we were talking about that particular subject.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that it actually was confirmed to be rated R.
Yeah.
So
should be exciting though. We'll see.
I'm just excited for the old Mark Hamill Joker laugh.
Mhm.
Yeah, oh Batsy, oh you always the that end of my joke.
It gets creepy, like creepier every time I hear it. It's really 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 creepy. Matthew?
Yeah, that was. I like it, but that was.
If you can't tell, Zach's favorite character is is Joker.
Yeah, the Mark Hamill Joker.
And he's also a really good voice actor, from what I've been told. So he's done a lot more than just Joker.
Yeah, no, he's Firelord Ozai. He's Skipped from regular show. Mordecai Rigby of Fire. He's also he's been in like many things, and no one has noticed.
Yep.
Well, there's a lot of voice actors out there that are in a lot of things, and nobody really knows who they are because they can manipulate their voice. Like, I don't think anybody would have realized that that's actually you, and you know, if we hadn't have said anything. Which, by the way, in case I didn't say it, that was all of Zach. He doesn't use any pre-recorded anything. That was all him. Just throwing that out there. Oh, by the way, we cannot stroke his ego. His girlfriend gets mad because he gets his ego gets bigger. So
I mean, you could do it a little bit.
I don't want your girlfriend to yell at me. I mean, if she yells at just you, I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
So, Matthew, one of our previous topics that we were talking about is the whole Prince thing, how he passed away and how shocking that was to everybody. What's your opinion on that?
Unfortunately, I don't know a lot about Prince either. I feel awful. I know I wasn't able to make it because I had to sing for finals, but the Slim Theaters here in Ann Arbor, they actually played Purple Rain just Saturday night, so in tribute. But I listened to some of the songs, I'm like, man, this sounds, to me, it reminded me so much of David Bowie, because Bowie I am such a huge fan of, but I really only became a fan of his, like, shortly before his death. So, like, a few months before, I had finally started getting into his music, and then all of a sudden I find out he's gone. It's like, what just happened? It's like I'd been missing out on this all this time, and now I feel the same way with Prince. Like, I want to start listening to his music. I'm like, alright, from what little I've heard, this is someone I really like. So, and all the things I've heard about him, he sounds like an incredible individual. So,
Yeah, he from everything, and originally I'm like, okay, I've heard of Prince, and I couldn't really figure out what song I knew him from, but and then I heard some of his songs, and I'm like, oh, I know that one, I know that one, I know that one, I know that one. So that's when it kind of hit me. I'm like, oh man, like this guy was phenomenal.
Yep.
And for me to know about him and not know the art, not remember what songs he did, that's ridiculous because I know like music is my thing. I know a lot about music. I know a lot about who sings the different things. So that was a big kind of shock for me because I know a lot of his songs, and it was one of those things I just
Mhm.
didn't know it was him until this news came about, and then I'm like, whoa, that's so sad. And like I said previously, we have lost one of the biggest. I'm gonna say icons, music icons and legends that we may ever have.
Oh yeah.
And just the story of how he got started is fascinating in itself. So in honor and in memory of him, I'm going to play the song Purple Rain. I'm going to sign off, and then I will end the show with Purple Rain. So is there anything else you guys want to add at all?
No. That should be it.
Yeah, I got nothing. So.
Okay, well, thank you both for calling in, and here is Purple Rain in honor and in memory of Prince.
Do you have the right song this time?
I have the right song this time.